My husband gave our baby's name away, so I'm leaving him.
You leave our baby's name, you leave me.
I went to my friend's house and from there to my mom's, and I'm currently writing from there. I've been with my husband for 6 years and married for 4 years now. I met him while gaming. I was 22 and he was 35. We instantly clicked. Oh. How do we know, though? Because we were online. We were only online. I feel like there's going to be a lot of that in this story. It was like he was just made for me. He just poured his heart out for me and told me that he wanted to marry right away. By the way, this comes from user Jello Bello, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And we are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so if you do something different, let us know in the comments. And OP says, he was just so attentive towards me. Bought me some expensive features in the game, helped me rank up and talk to me for hours. And he had a job too, which he did with patience and honesty.
How do you know that?
How do you know this? Was his job in the game? Slowly, things became very serious between us, and he asked me out, and I said yes. We would have online dates and talk on video calls for hours while playing games together. However, after a year, slowly, things changed. He was no longer giving me attention and didn't want to play with me. He kept asking me to send him money for game updates and upgrades because he spent his money on his family and his brother's family.
So that's called a scam.
Now, honestly, I don't even think this guy, I mean, it is, you're being scammed. But, like, I think you're being scammed by just having a terrible relationship with this guy. A horrible relationship with this man. At the time, I didn't care much because family should help family, and I did send him money for his hobby. This went on for a long time until I told him to stop spending so much money on games and to maybe not spend so much money on his family too and start saving up for himself and our future. He kept agreeing and saying he would start after this upcoming upgrade was finished. And this is how it went on for 2 years. I kept telling him to save. He kept spending and having no money to himself, not even for medical checkups. And all this time, he kept comparing me to his sister-in-law, saying how beautiful she was and how smart she was. And why couldn't I be like that? I'ma leave. I'm leaving.
OP.
Call me Frank Sinatra the way I'm spreading the news, because I'm leaving today. I'm going to be a part of it. Anywhere but this relationship, baby.
Yeah, I'm not being a part of this relationship anymore, I'll tell you that.
He really liked her and her children. It was like he saw them differently and had put them all on a pedestal. It was just so crazy to me, and this turned me into a crazy, jealous woman. Thus, I asked him to marry me, and I would show him that I was better than his sister-in-law. That might be the worst justification for marriage I've ever seen on the show.
Yeah. Marry me. I'll prove I'm better than that person that you definitely like more than me.
Oh, you had to know, right? Someone had to tell you, oh, no, it's going to stay the same or it's going to get worse.
Was there anyone in your life that was saying this, or were you just kind of, because oftentimes when you have these relationships where they're really bad and you have a younger person, they kind of like don't listen to the people in their lives because this older person, this older partner is saying, oh, you don't have to. I'm here for you.
Just tell them, ice them out. Or you don't have to. Just get those people out of here. You're mine.
Yeah.
You're mine and mine alone. So in August of 2021, we tied the knot. The Gordian knot? You're going to have a hard time untying that one.
It's impossible.
Well, except for who was that one guy who untied the Gordian knot? Dang it. I'm missing on my... Gordo. Yeah, that's right. Duh. How can I forget that? Since I was not doing anything for myself, I moved in with him and my in-laws, which was a whole other story. Even marriage didn't stop him from comparing me to his sister-in-law and always praising her and his brother's family. I'm sorry, it's not funny. This sucks for you, OP. But, like, of course marriage wasn't going to stop him from doing that.
Yeah. She's like, what? Who could have known? Who could have
Even marriage didn't
known?
stop him. It's like marrying the bank robber, but you work at a bank.
Yeah.
And you're like, even marriage didn't stop him from robbing that bank.
I thought I could change him. He didn't change.
He's a bank robber. He doesn't
stole
care
my
if you work at the
change.
bank. He's going to steal all your nickels and dimes.
And it's changed.
And God forbid your quarters.
There's no pennies to steal anymore.
It's illegal. I was obsessed with him and his happiness. His happiness was my happiness. He told me his sad childhood, and I wanted to make him the happiest man. I followed his every comment, cut off my friends, changed my clothing, fulfilled his spicy desires, and went out of my comfort zone for him. I deleted all my socials, didn't post my photos anywhere. I put him over myself and my needs in everything. But in return, I got nothing, and everything became unbearable. Living with my in-laws was unbearable, along with his behaviors. So I asked him to either change everything or we were done. And that was in June 2023. Surprisingly, we moved houses and he started to become a very good partner.
I don't believe you.
I mean, let's find out maybe what he could have been doing that was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started to love me again. We went on dates. We became closer. He expressed that he wanted to be a dad and that we should start a family. No! We took things slow and first built our relationship stronger. And he stopped his comparisons and was actively working to make our life and house better. He was not sending money to his family and was actually saving for us and our future. And I was the happiest. No in-law drama. And I was near my parents as well, so everything was going very good. It was a peaceful 2.5 years, so I decided that it was time for us to start a family since everything was perfect. And he expressed that he didn't want to wait anymore, and we weren't getting any younger, and everything seemed fine.
No.
He was a different person now, and I also wanted a baby now. Fast forward to April 2025, and I was pregnant, and everything was very well. He was a very present and loving partner, which I wanted forever. But my joy was short-lived because around July, something changed inside of him, and he was no longer the same. He started coming home late and was spending most of his time with his brother's family because his brother lost his job, and now they needed him. My husband had 2 businesses now. He was very successful. Thus, he could now help his family, and we could have no problems, which I was okay with, though my opinion didn't matter to him in this case anyway. A little bit of a red flag right there.
Oh, so many red flags in this story, and it's tough hearing this because you can't stop OP from walking towards the cliff.
I mean, it's tough because you also have that 2.5 year period where, he kind of turns it around, but I'm sure there's still a lot of rose-tinted glasses, when it comes to the red flags in the relationship.
You don't want to see them. You're young. You don't want to see them. You want to see the guy that shows up for you.
Yeah. I would be alone for hours, so I decided that I wanted to go to my parents since he was barely home with me, and my parents just wanted me to be safe. Fast forward to the issue at hand. We had decided the name beforehand, that if it was a boy, it would be Cairo since we are Egyptians, and if it was a girl, it would be Nova for the star. I read most of your replies, and many of you commented about how I was still with my husband even after all these things. It was just that love really is blind, and I was also a bit too naive and married him because he had potential. Looking back at how everything was going on and the way he treated me, if someone else was in my shoes, I would have told him to leave in the blink of an eye. But here I was, who stayed and even married him and started a family with him. And there are some comments here. First one is, did you try to confront sister-in-law and brother-in-law, the in-laws? OP replies, yes, I did confront my brother-in-law way before, but I insulted a lot and then I just backed off because my husband didn't support me. And honestly, I was overpowered and I didn't want to involve my parents a lot because they had to respect for anyone. And there is an update.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you are on the path to understanding, and you've just kind of written the update separately or something maybe. But yeah, it's just naive naivete.
Yeah, I gotta admit, at the beginning, I was like, I don't know if we should leave someone just because of the baby's name being like.
But you should leave this
But
person.
that's just the little tiny
yeah.
sprinkle on top of the entire sundae of bad aspects of your relationship.
The garnish on top of the really crappy risotto.
This is the inconsequential visual aesthetic to the steaming pile of rotten vegetables that you have been served. And there's an update. I'm sorry, because I was a wreck. My life has fallen apart. And I just found out that he never loved me. No! Oh, he's a psycho. He was a psycho the whole time.
He's a 35-year-old man at the time who took advantage of a 22-year-old who he found on the internet. It's not your fault. You were manipulated into, all of these different things. But you live and you learn, and you're going to get out of this, and you're going to be all right. It's just going to take a while.
The day this all happened was my final straw. I was with him until my friend came, and he kept telling me sorry, but it was just a name, and some other things along the lines of the name suited him well because he looked so beautiful, just like his mom, and that I should be happy because I picked the name for him. And then some other nonsense, referring to the baby's name being, I guess, given away to someone else. Then when I left, he kept sending voice messages, and I ignored him until the night I was with my parents, and he called me. He told me to come back and to stop being childish over a name and not ruin our life together. Well, it's already ruined being with you.
Your life together is so bad. You can't ruin something that's already crap.
Being with you ruins my life. I asked him why he did it, and he said because she deserved it, and that he told them the name and his sister-in-law liked it, and he just couldn't make her upset because she deserves happiness and the world.
Your husband is in love with his sister-in-law.
It's weird.
Your husband is in love with his sister-in-law. He's upset because he can't have her because she's with his brother. He doesn't care about you, and we just need to go.
We need to chop him off at the root.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't hold it anymore. I told him about how he just managed to ruin everything for me, about how he took that one thing that was mine and gave it to her, about how he just sucked the joy out of anything for me, and that I had to live like this for years. I told him that I was done and that I wanted to be an individual person on my own, and that I didn't need or want him anymore. I told him to go and live with his brother's family and wife, and that I would be naming my child myself. He cursed me a lot, and at the end told me that he never thought I would ever be able to leave him. And now that I have, I will never be able to find a good man because I am a damaged good. He said that he never loved me, and I was just a time pass for him to fulfill his wishes.
He's crazy.
He's just saying whatever he can say to you to hurt your feelings.
Exactly. Don't listen to him. You're not damaged goods.
Not at all.
He's crazy.
He is damaged goods.
He's damaged goods. His sister-in-law doesn't want to be with him, no matter how much he wants that. So just be thankful that he is letting you free.
Truly. He's upset that you're leaving him because he thought it would never happen, and he's being very transparent about it.
He thought he can control you
by being
forever.
nasty.
And you're realizing that you have free will and are an autonomous person, and he's like, wait, no.
But you don't ever have to wait for more full episodes with stories just like this one that you can listen to on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. Just search OK Storytime. And you got a whole lot to listen to.
Sure do.
And there is just a little bit left of this story.
Let's hit it.
My dad yelled at him, and some things were said. But yes, I've decided to end everything and move far away from him and to name my baby myself. I'm exhausted, hurt, and shamed. I feel ugly. I feel like I don't even know myself anymore. The only thing I'm alive for is my baby right now and my parents, and I'm filled with loads of regret. I will be okay because I have my parents, and there are comments, but stay strong, OP.
Yeah. You've got your parents. You have a support system. That's good.
Believe a man when he says he doesn't love you. He's in love with his sister-in-law. I'm sorry that this happened to you. OP replies, I had my doubts all the time, but now I believe it. Even told him to come clean. He just denied it and got angry at me, which is its own sort of confirmation.
Yeah.
Because why would you get mad about that? You'd be more like, what?
What are you talking about?
More like confused.
Yeah.
You get mad, it's because you know it's true.
It's true.
And that is the end of that story.
That's true, too. But we've got another one coming right up. I wanted to move to the countryside, but my wife says it's her or the farm.
I am not a country mouse. I am a city mouse.
Growing up, I, 39 male, spent a lot of time on my grandma and uncle's farm, which has been in the family for 150 years. The farm consists of an 18-acre homestead, 600 acres of farmland, and 200 acres of forest. It also has 2 barns, several smaller sheds, a chicken coop, and a large pole shed for equipment. By the way, this comes from Farm 3242, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, there is a small cabin in the forested area where my older brother and I practically lived every summer from ages 10 to 18. I love the property and have wanted to live there full time since I was a kid. It's located about 40 minutes away from the city where my wife, 37 a female, and I currently live with our 6-year-old son. When my grandmother passed away, she left the entire farm to my uncle. He's taken very good care of the property and has slowly transitioned the 600 acres of farmland to farming tenants as he's gotten older. He currently has terminal cancer and only has 6 months to a year left. The property will be split equally between my brother, myself, and a cousin, since my uncle never married or had children, and he wants it to go to the next generation. I've expressed wanting to move there permanently since I was a kid, long before I met my wife in college. Knowing this, 5 years ago, my uncle structured his will so my brother and cousin would inherit more of the farmland and I would get the homestead, most of the woods, and a smaller share of the farmland. But did you tell your wife that?
Have we spoken to our wife?
Did you say from the beginning that, I've always wanted to live on this homestead?
Or was it a little secret that you kept on the inside?
Financially, everything is set. My wife works as an elementary teacher and won't have any problems finding a new job in one of the nearby towns, both about 15 minutes away. I work remotely as a software engineer in a flexible role I've navigated myself into so I would have time to maintain the property. There are property taxes and inheritance taxes that will need to be paid, but if we sell our current house and place the equity into that debt, the income from the rented farmland will reduce our mortgage to about 1/3 of what it is now. Once the mortgage is paid off in 10 years, we'll have an incredible income stream to retire on. We're also inheriting tractors, lawnmowers, and other equipment needed to maintain the property. If something were to happen to one of us, the farmland is so valuable that it could be sold to take care of our family. I've recently been spending a lot of time at the farm, helping my uncle take care of the place as his health has declined. Last week, I got home after a long weekend there, and my wife asked me to sit down. She's upset that I've been spending so much time at the farm and dropped the bomb that she has no intention of selling our home in the city and moving to the farm. She likes where we live, likes her job and her social life. She also doesn't want to move into a smaller house, 3,300 square feet versus 1,900 square feet. She doesn't think it's fair to be ripped away from all of that to follow my dream. I understand where she's coming from, but she's known I've wanted to do this for nearly our entire relationship and hasn't voiced any concern before. Which, that does put, a little spin on this. But in her case, it might just be it didn't seem real before. When my uncle sat down with their heirs and restructured his will 5 years ago, she didn't say anything to me. When we met in college, I told her it was my intention to do this after our relationship became serious, and she was excited. We've spent probably 5 to 10 weekends in the cabin every year since we got married, and she's enjoyed it. My son loves going there and regularly asks when we are going to the farm. I'm heartbroken that she's changed her mind. I've asked her how long she's known she wasn't on board, and she says it's been since around the time our son was born. 6 years ago? And she didn't bring that up?
Could have talked about that 6 years ago, even 5 years ago,
5
maybe
years
4 years ago.
Maybe last year.
3 years.
Last month.
At any point ever.
I feel a bit betrayed that she didn't let me know, even when my uncle first got sick 2 years ago. She thinks I should just sell my share so we can live very comfortably and retire early. My brother lives in another country now, and my cousin has no intention of moving there. It won't make sense for us to keep the property if we don't move in, and it will be sold off, something I really don't want to do. My entire vision of my life seems to be changing with no warning, though hers must be too. I think we both feel stuck. And there is an update.
Brother, I don't think hers is changing at all.
Yeah, I think there is a way where you guys like take a minute and then you go to her and say like, why are you feeling this way? Why did your mind change?
Because she's a city mouse.
Yeah,
I
she's
have
a
a
city
feeling
mouse.
her mind never changed.
And
She
then she
says
just
that
lied.
it's because when her son was born.
Maybe it was before
I think
then.
that's a really great way to be like, let me take all the pressure on me.
Yeah.
Because what, is this going to be our son's fault now? Like,
Mhm.
checkmate.
Checkmate. I think you guys just need to keep talking about this and maybe even therapy. Because you both have, she's not reasonable for not telling you for 6 years. But her desires to stay with, her job and her friends and stuff are fair.
Yeah, she's a city mouse.
Yeah.
She wants to live in the city. You're a country mouse. You won't live down there in the country.
And you guys just have to decide whether or not that is a deal breaker and who can compromise, or if neither of you can compromise.
Maybe y'all can live there part-time.
Well, but I don't know if they could afford it because the whole reason or the whole way of how they were going to afford it was selling their house in the city.
Dang it.
Yeah, you got to find out.
You have a nice little Airbnb parental property.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Update. My wife and I sat down last night and had a more productive conversation. We're going to have a long dinner date on Saturday, and I've listed out a lot of the concerns on this thread to bring up. I also called a financial planner today and set up an appointment with my wife in a couple weeks to get a more concrete idea about all of the expenses and what options are open to us. Update 2. I wanted to make this post to get some more input from others regarding this situation. My wife and I are starting couples counseling next week, and I would like to go into it knowing what we should discuss. I want to be more considerate to her perspective. After making my previous post, my wife and I had a dinner date. We discussed why she had changed her mind, and it came down to her feeling like I pushed my dream onto her, and her feeling like she couldn't say no to it. She's made friends, likes her job, likes where we live.
So this is literally just, we bought a zoo.
Yeah.
This is Matt Damon, we bought a zoo.
Our son is in 1st grade and has a few friends he met in kindergarten last year. We would be ripping him away from that too. Moving to the homestead was never her idea, and her agreeing to it was mostly just her trying not to upset me.
See how that works?
That didn't work out, girl. Didn't work out. Let's not do that.
See how it works when we just try to appease people with lies?
Never works. It always comes crashing down. My dream is going to upend her life. She said she's been waiting for years for me to have a very long discussion about it with her. She's been waiting for you?
Girl does not. She doesn't know how discussions work.
She's like, I was waiting for years for you to bring up that I didn't want to go live on the farm, but you never did.
You just, that whole time, you thought I was true to my word about what I'd said.
She was going to initiate that discussion herself eventually, but she kept putting it off. Looking back, I agree we really should have had a very long discussion about this years ago. I realized I kind of just assumed she was on board with it and acted and spoke about it as if it were an inevitable thing without ever really confirming it with her. She did kind of say that she was on board with it.
Every time sounds like she kind of implied she was down.
After the date, we made an appointment with a financial planner and a couples therapist. I did more research into possible compromises we could make before our meeting with the financial planner. We met with the financial planner and after crunching the numbers and looking at our local market, determined that we could sell our current house and buy a smaller condo in one of our city's suburbs. This would let her continue working and living close to the city during weekdays and commute out to the homestead to try out living there at least for a while. If she chooses to move out to the homestead permanently, we could sell the condo or keep it as a rental or getaway property. When we figured out this solution was possible, she said she would consider it. We also determined that while we could rent out the homestead if we wanted to keep the option of living out there open into the future but still live in the city now, we could barely break even on the rent versus mortgage. I would probably still have to constantly drive out there to keep up the maintenance unless we had a tenant who was willing to do it for a large percentage of the rent, and even finding such a tenant might be very difficult. We would either be losing time or money with a tenant. After the meeting, she was quiet about this issue and didn't want to discuss it for almost 2 weeks until we had a dinner date this past Thursday. We both knew going into the date that we had to discuss it, and it was awkward. I started discussing the homestead, and she got upset. Then she said that if I want to move on to that farm so badly, I can sell our house and leave. But she and our son won't be coming with me, and our marriage will end in a divorce. Her bringing up divorce and threatening the custody of our son was really upsetting to me. Yeah.
As it would be.
It usually is, those things.
That would be for anybody, I'd assume.
Our date grounded to a halt, and once we arrived home, we got into an argument about the divorce comment that ended up with both of us agreeing to discuss this in our first couples counseling meeting next week. By the way, I gotta discuss with you guys that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Do it.
There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I think that's a crazy low blow of her to
Yeah.
immediately be like, well, fine, then I'll divorce you and take your son.
Yeah, after you guys had one therapy appointment, and you're like, hey, we kind of found a compromise, and she's like, I'm divorcing you. And we're not staying here. That's it.
And the way she
Girl,
said that, like, it's
do
like
it.
you're springing it on her, like it hasn't
Yeah.
been literally
6
since
years.
the beginning of your relationship.
Yeah, beyond 6 years, because he said that when they met, he was saying.
Yeah. And she was like, oh my God, that's exciting.
Yeah. And now she's like, how dare you push me into this? Girl, what?
Yeah.
But there's a little
It's
bit left.
trash
Yeah.
behavior.
I don't know. My hand is being forced. I don't like that my options are now sell my inheritance, spend huge amounts of time away from my family, caring for a property we don't live on, throw money down the hole with the hope I will get to live my dream even further in the future, or get divorced. When it comes down to it, I will choose my marriage over the homestead, at least for the sake of my son. I'm very worried that if I choose that option, I'll end up bitter and our marriage will fail anyways. I hope we can work out some of this in couples counseling. I really wish I hadn't created this mess if it is my fault. Dude, you have said from the beginning of your relationship, from day one, day numero uno.
Man, honestly, I might get that divorce.
Yeah?
I might get that divorce and just go live on the farm.
I mean, it's just the son I
And-
think OP's, thinking about. And
And
that's,
you can
that's the
split
tricky
that
thing.
there custody down the middle. I don't know. Because your son's going to love it every time he comes because he
Yeah.
loves the farm.
He loves the farm.
And he's going to say, and whenever he's old enough to explain, you say, son, it's just something didn't click right. And your mom couldn't leave the city. And I had to,
Mom's a
and
city
I had to
gal,
come
and
to
I'm a
this
country boy.
ranch. I couldn't sell it.
Mm-hmm.
She's a city mouse and I'm a country mouse.
I'm a country mouse. But that is the end of that story. Good luck, OP. I hope that counseling works.
Yes, and we do have another story. My husband refused me date nights for years, but bought himself a golf vacation.
Get out of here.
That's what he's going to do. My husband just told me he booked a flight to go golfing with his best friends in a few weeks. He never once talked to me about the dates or his plans before he booked.
Typical.
We've been together almost 21 years, married for 15 next week.
Oh,
He just spent 5 days away over Labor Day while I stayed behind with our 13-year-old.
dude.
What a bad start for this man. By the way, this comes from user Soul Slayer, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, he has never done anything like this before. For context, he is incredibly cheap. We haven't gone away for even a night in years, even with the kids. I wanted to get Disney tickets this summer, but he said no.
I will be on his side here if you're cheap. Disney is very expensive.
Yeah, it may be the happiest place on earth, so they say, but it's certainly not the cheapest place on earth.
And I'm hoping that he went on this golf trip. The only way he can get by it with me is if he went on this golf trip for a business work thing and he was able to write it off on his taxes.
That's what he's going to say. He's going to say, baby, I got to get better at golf for business.
That is the thing.
I got to be able to impress the big dogs.
Yes, that is the thing, networking with golf. Sure, and that better be his excuse. If it's not, there's no hope for him.
No matter what I spend, he always has an issue with it. Every time I go grocery shopping, he almost always complains about how much I spend, even though it's well within the allowance.
What?
The last time we went out to eat was November 2023 with our 13-year-old.
Oh,
So he would complain about you buying the food to feed your family?
so you're just not even having date nights? That's crazy.
Date nights, make grocery store date night.
I told Angie that everything we do is a date night.
If we're together, that's a date.
Done.
I've asked so many times to go out to dinner or something, but we never do. Recently, in an argument, I brought it up again, and he said that he doesn't like going out to eat, so why would he do it?
Bro, what? I just like it when you cook for me. Who's cooking? Who's cooking at home? I want to know that.
Who really doesn't like to go out to eat that?
There's good spots out there.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go out on the town every once in a while. He told me I should consider the time we spend on the weekends cleaning the house and doing yard work as spending time together.
I could see yard work, not cleaning the house.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in the gardens with my grandparents.
Yeah, that's that good yard work.
Yeah. I could
That's
feel good.
yard. That's yard play.
Yeah. But like, weed eating and mowing the lawn.
Did you eat dandelions as a kid?
No,
The yellow ones?
I did not. You look like you ate a lot of them.
I did. I only ate.
You sound like you ate a lot of them.
I only ate one or two every now and then.
You were in the double digits.
No.
High.
Maybe I built it up one day. Maybe I got there.
Anyways.
I don't work, and I have no friends or family.
Oh, so she is the one that's cooking.
And she's doing it all.
Oh.
I feel this is the final straw. I feel neglected, but he says that's not it. He has an unhealthy relationship with money and is always stressing over it. We don't struggle and live comfortably, but he was laid off years ago and it took him 9 months to find work. Since then, he has been overly crazy about money. Our oldest is 24, and she says he has caused her so much anxiety about money that she's always worried about running out of it. He stresses about spending $5 to rent a movie. He's bothered that I want to pay for a movie service that costs $8 a month. Money is such a huge issue in our marriage. He always says we are broke. The kids have been around for this, and it's so unhealthy for them to worry about finances.
What?
I kind of disagree with that at some point. I feel like sheltering your children from financial reality is like doing them more of a disservice than anything. Not like making them like, we're broke and we're going to be on the street, but like being like, hey, so this is what money is. This is how it works. This is why we can't get that thing. This is blah, 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 blah. You're kind of dooming them to be financially illiterate anyway.
Yeah. As a parent, you got to make sure they're good to, be adults when they leave.
Right. When our oldest was in middle and high school, she suffered from medication-resistant depression and had a failed self-deletion attempt. Her counselor even then told him to stop talking about money, but he couldn't. We haven't had a date night in years. My birthday was last month, and we were going to go out, but we ended up shopping and working on a Halloween project together instead, which I was fine with. But the attempts are few and far between. Yeah, I don't know. I got to say, if I had a child that was struggling with their mental health like that, and it had to do with, my partner talking about finances constantly, and they still couldn't stop, I think I would cut it off there.
Yeah.
I think I'd be done.
She might not have, understands that it's an option or the power to.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have a job. She's very reliant on him.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
That is a really hard spot.
Yeah, it sounds like the love is lost here.
Our 13-year-old has had anxiety and depression since the vid struck. She is incredibly smart, but has no drive or ambition. She misses too much school, never does homework, and lies about it, so it's an absolute nightmare dealing with that stress. I never get to get away from it. He typically works 60 hours a week, so most of that burden falls on me. The stress caused me to lose 20 pounds last May just trying to be sure she passed 7th grade.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, 20 pounds in 1 month?
Oh my gosh.
That's like hospital visit type situation, I would think.
Unless it's water weight. I have an old friend that lost 20 pounds in 1 month because she took certain medication and it got rid of all her water weight. I don't know. That's probably not the case
I
here.
hope it's not. But, I mean, yeah, dang, I would get that. I would make sure you're okay after that. That's wild. I voiced this and even wrote him a 13-page letter last spring about how I needed more from him. He even said he wouldn't want his daughters to have a husband like himself and that he would have a real problem with it if our oldest was marrying someone who had done some of the things he has done to me.
Oh my gosh.
He is not physically harmful in any way, but he has said some hurtful things out of spite over the years that he knows were wrong. I feel like I need to show my girls a good example, and how can I do that staying married to him? He has continued to ignore most of my needs for quality time and a chance to check out once in a while. My heart is breaking into a million pieces right now. I just booted him out, and I'm not sure I made the right decision. And there are some comments here.
Space helps. Time helps. And plus, you're here. You're going to be getting a lot of advice pretty quickly.
Yeah, we do have some comments. Yeah, I got to say, I can't imagine it working out if it's been that long and it just hasn't improved with multiple, chances and conversations where you've made it clear that it needs to.
Where to love at?
That's what he's saying. Comments. Comment 1, get a job and independence. Short and sweet.
Easy.
Comment 2 is a reply. This is the answer. Staring OP in the face. It's not like she has a 3-month-old at home. Her kids don't need her to dote over. Wait, I'm sorry. It's not like she has a 3-month-old. She's got a 13-year-old.
Can't leave those alone at home.
Well, what are you talking about? It's like, whatever. That'll be simple.
I mean, it technically less responsibility, but still that's a kid that she's responsible for.
Yeah. Her kids don't need her to dote over them constantly. Go create a separate life, make some friends, and earn some of your own money to spend as you wish.
Oh, no.
And OP replies,
Oh, no.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, agreed.
I unfortunately no longer work due to disability. We moved to a different state 20 years ago. I had friends when I worked, but it's hard to keep friends when you have a debilitating illness and have to cancel plans. No one wants to hear about how bad you feel. We had many friends on our block, but we lost a few to cancer, car accidents, and stroke.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
That is terrible. Others moved away. We have a few people in our life now, but not on a personal level, if that makes sense. I drive my youngest to and from school daily as she goes to a charter school and has no bus transportation. OP replies to a comment that says, quote, this is just excuses. OP says, she can't ride a bike. We are miles from school and don't have sidewalks. We are out in the suburbs. Right now, I couldn't possibly think of working. I'm having an exasperation of symptoms, and my doctor did a huge increase in my meds in an attempt to stabilize me. I see him next week and only have gotten weaker and big issues with my breathing. The stress doesn't help. Additional info here, OP has MG, myasthenia gravis, mentioned in her previous post.
Someone comment what that is so everyone can refer to it.
Myasthenia gravis. I think we're going to get some maybe elaboration.
Okay.
A comment supporting OP says, I'm sorry this is happening. I'm an RT, so I've seen your illness up close, and it is a MFer.
Oh.
Don't listen to the nasty folk. Rest. Sending you healing thoughts and care. There is an update.
Okay.
So we don't know exactly what MG is, but we do know it is bad news. Myasthenia gravis is a chronic autoimmune neuromuscular disease that causes muscle weakness that worsens with activity and improves with rest. It is caused by the immune system mistakenly attacking and blocking the receptors that allow nerves to communicate with muscles.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, God.
That, ugh.
Oh, God.
So you can't even work out.
That's terrible.
It's tough.
Yeah, as you work out, you get weaker. Oh,
Yikes.
no. There is an update. My husband was needed back home to help with hurricane prep. Man, you just cannot freaking catch a break.
It's because they're Florida people. This all checks out. You're all from Florida.
Floridians. He was supposed to only help and stay that night, but then as things got more real, he stayed because I needed help preparing the house and yard for the storm. We talked about evacuating and booked a hotel some 3 hours away, but as the storm shifted south, we decided to stay put. He stayed during the storm and after. We ended up doing a lot of talking, but he would not cancel the trip. I told him he should be begging for my forgiveness, but it seemed like it was me fighting for this marriage.
Yeah, it's been you fighting for the marriage.
It sounds like that's how it's been the whole time. He had that trip 2 months ago where he went alone, had no responsibilities, no one to answer to, and had a lot of fun. He just wanted to feel that again. I told him if he didn't cancel the trip, the marriage was over.
Oh my gosh.
And there it is, folks. We've laid it on the table.
Whoa.
I told him he couldn't have his cake and eat it too. I would never be able to get away with doing something like this, nor would I try. I don't understand why this trip is so important. He's been love bombing me and promised he would change and start treating me to vacations and date nights. There have been some issues in the past that I forgave, and he feels like I still can't forgive him for them.
Oh, little mischievous activities late at night.
He's been getting up to some mischief for sure. This is a mischievous man, if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't understand why he would add to the problem. if that's how he feels. It sucks when you love someone so much and they hurt you like this. I don't want my marriage to be over. But he literally told me he would put me first after his trip.
How about now? You can still do things before the trip. You know that, right? You can still take her out on a little date night or something. Book the trip right now. Okay, we're going to do something. Book it. Let's get it on the books right now.
Why can't I be a stronger person and know that there is someone out there who will cherish me and love me the way I deserve? My daughter sent him a text explaining her feelings and basically told him he chose this trip over his family. He left Friday and he comes home today. All of his stuff is packed up and out of the house in his truck.
Oh my gosh.
Most he packed himself on Friday before the trip.
Whoa. Dang. I wonder where I'm going to go after this story, though.
You are truly better off without this man in your life making you feel worthless, like you have no value. Because that's what he does. And then you told him straight up, like, please just pick me over this trip. And he's like, I will. Right after I take this trip, I'll start picking you in front of this trip. But I'm taking the trip. Oh, you're going to divorce me? I'll pack my stuff up and put it in the truck before I leave.
Ridiculous.
Wild.
He knows what he wants. He wants his life back because he doesn't like being with you in his life.
He wants that freedom. And by the way, you're free to listen to full episodes of stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, just search OK Storytime, and you can listen for a whole bunch of time, like at least 10 hours. Might even be closer to like
90 days.
Yeah, like 3 months.
It is.
So that's a lot more. That's like 180 times what I was expecting, probably even more than that. But we have a little bit more story. He did miss his flight, trying to convince me I was making a bigger deal out of this than it needed to be, and he deserves that. I texted his brother, sister-in-law, and the friend he's visiting to basically say we are over and explain the circumstances leading to it. I also explained the history of how we've had no date nights and how he didn't do anything for our 15-year anniversary that was almost a month ago.
Oh my gosh.
He told me no one took his side, which I told him would be the case.
Yeah, no one's on your side, man.
What side? The side? He's like, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to be a completely absent partner and show her no support or love or care whatsoever.
Tell her to stay home with a 13-year-old.
And she left. She's crazy, right, guys?
She's overreacting.
No one in our life would treat their spouse like this. So I'm so torn as to whether I'm going to let him stay tonight or not. Heartache sucks. And that is the end of that story.
Wow. I mean, I hope everything turns around for you. This is rock bottom. You can only go up.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't let him stay. I think it's over. I think it needs to be over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think if you can get out of there and like not be, just on the streets and you can, find a way to make it through there with your disability and whatever's going on, I'd get out of there. If you can find a semblance of independence, I'd get out of there.
This is tough. Sorry, OP.
Yeah.
You can pick up a new hobby now. Try out golfing. I heard it's real fun.
You're going to have to make your hobby briefly a divorce attorney and getting a good settlement out of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the vows it said, I would choose you over any golfing trips that come up in the future. I think they're in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's implied.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the lines in
between
there.
like sickness and health and till do his part, it's in there. It's been a while since I heard it, but I'm pretty sure it's in there.
If you take the really good magnifying glass and you hold it up there, though, you can see really tiny itty bitty letters
in print.
Yeah, it says like.
There it is. Check it for yourselves. But guys, that's the end of this episode. If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.